Hey folks, this is Gray here, and I want to welcome everyone back. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at solar ovens and should you buy one? All right, so let me go ahead and be upfront. What are you going to get out of this video? Well, what I'm going to do is I've been searching around for a solar oven for quite some time, looking at different companies. I've even tinkered around with some tin foil and plastic wrap and cardboard boxes trying to make my own and see how efficient it was. Well, I finally found a company that I think has a pretty good solid product. So I'm going to kind of showcase that with you in this video. We're going to cook some breakfast with it. How long does it take? How efficient does it cook? And also kind of decide on the price point. And towards the end of the video, we'll also look at pros and cons, where I have determined this kind of falls into. And a lot of people are going to ask the question, well, who is this for? Folks, for the people that are watching this video, most likely you're interested in a solar oven or at least have some questions in regards to solar ovens. So be it for the folks that are into the prepared mindset, be it for the folks that are off-gridders, or people that may want to camp without carrying a bunch of fuel, be it propane or alcohol or wood or whatnot, and they want to use a different type of cooking method, which is by using the good old sun. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to be looking at the GoSun solar oven. Comes in this little pack here, little carry pack. This is one of their larger sizes. I'll put links and all that stuff down below, just in case you care to take a look at it. Pricing, they got a bunch of variations of it, from smaller ones to even bigger ones than the one I got. The one I have decided to kind of focus in on is a hybrid, and I'll explain why. So a solar oven that is hybrid powered. So not only can it cook with the sun, because I live in Florida, folks, and it's not called the Sunshine State for no reason, because it's very sunny most of the time, 90% of the time of the year. We'll get our storms, but they're kind of in and out. Even when a hurricane presents itself and knocks out the power and destroys everything, as soon as that low pressure pulls out, high pressure moves in, and it's sunny, hot, and humid. What I like about the hybrid system, it's 12-volt electric power. Great for those cloudy days, or even if you want to cook at night. Well, this solar oven that I got from GoSun, it heats up pretty fast. Reaches up to 550 degrees in full sun, perfect for baking or roasting or steaming and just generalized cooking. People are going to ask, well, how long does it take? And in that video that I'm going to cut to here in a minute after I start jabbering at the jaw, you'll see me cook a full breakfast for myself, of course, and see how that plays out for times. But per their website, they say around 20 to 30 minutes using solar energy alone. When you're cooking with the 12 volt, which the 12 volt accessory, you can use it, you can power via your car, power station. You have a bunch of different options that you can use when using that 12 volt accessory. I don't show that in this video, but you kind of get the point, and I kind of go on the back of it. I'll show you how it kind of incorporates into the solar tube that inserts into the oven. It's pretty portable and compact, weighs in, I think, about 7.5 pounds, and kind of folds up in a small gym bag like I kind of showed you there. I feel personally it's perfect for like your off-grid kind of scenarios and camping, and worst case scenario, a bug out situation where you don't have lots of fuel. Maybe it's been raining, the wood is wet, you're having trouble starting fires, and you need to cook some food for you and your family. And of course, emergency preparedness. I want to reiterate that in the electric mode that you can use it because it's a hybrid system, which I do. Like I said, that is a big pro for me. You can plug it into your car, RV, portable power station, any type of DC power when the sun isn't available. So those are some of the key points I wanted to kind of go over with you before we cut to the actual kind of, I don't want to say unboxing, but unbagging of the thing, setting it up, and using the solar oven to cook this breakfast meal. Surprisingly, I cook bread, which are biscuits. I cook bacon, and I cook eggs. Kind of a simplistic breakfast, but it's still gonna, feed the hunger that you may be feeling in a bad situation, or if you're off grid and you're trying to get things done. Folks, stay tuned to the end of the video as I will be going over the pros and cons after we kind of go through the whole setup. And there's some really good pros and there's a few cons I just want to make you aware of, at least from my perspective. Sometimes I nitpick, but that's just a way of doing kind of like gear reviews and kind of breaking down certain equipment and gear that we may think about purchasing for preparedness or other applications.
All right. So this is the package that the GoSun solar oven comes in. It's not too bad. Got little slots on both sides. Let's go ahead and unzip this and see what we got inside. And looks like we have some instructions and other paperwork. What else do we got here? Looks like some silicone cooking trays or cups or whatever you want to call these things. I can see how they can come in handy. So that is on this side of it. That looks like a little cleaning thing from what I read earlier in videos that I've watched, how they use the cleaning. Comes with this. I'll go in later. This is for the hybrid section if you need to cook on cloudy days or at night. And then, of course, this is a strap that's going to go on the side of this thing if you want to kind of carry it like a satchel or suitcasey kind of thingamajig. Yeah, that's the word I'm deciding to use on this. And let's go and look at the other side and see what's in there. And zippers work pretty good. All right, so here's where we got the actual solar oven and the, I can't think of the name. I'm going to just call this the cooking rod because these are the things that go through my head. There's some space in there for other stuff. Maybe you want to store some utensils or cleaning supplies and whatnot in that bag. Anyway, so this is the folded up version of the GoSun. Their reflectors and whatnot are on the inside. And these are the stands that are kind of holding it together. The stand is part of it. Now this is the cooking tube. The back of that is a heating element so that when you plug in that hybrid plug to that with no sun, you can still cook with this unit. Again, rain, shine, snow, sleet, whatever. And then that's going to be how it looks when it's all opened up. Anyways, if you flip this thing over, you can kind of adjust this. There's a couple locking mechanisms on the back of this to kind of set this up. And it kind of rotates around so that you can kind of have a few different angles depending on where the sun's at, right above you, in front of you, side of you. And I think once you get it all set up, it's pretty tough. And then again, the cooking rod, like I said, it's pretty big and pretty long. You can kind of put a lot of different stuff in there with the width of it. I'm going to try to utilize it the way I can. But anyways, this thing here, again, is the plug, the heating element, which will heat the thing if there is no sun. Now, this is going to be inserted into here. And see, there's like a little rubber grommet there. And it kind of pushes in there into a flush situation. There you go. That is the GoSun solar oven setup. So moving on from that, let's kind of see what we're going to cook. We got some eggs with some peppers and green peppers and red peppers in there. We have the smiley face biscuits and bacon for my breakfast. And then let's kind of use these things for the bread or the biscuits per se. Kind of just put them in there. They're round, but I think let me see here. I think the best idea is to kind of put them in the tray like that, but maybe I should mold these a little bit better. Let me grab this other one here. And I think by kind of pushing the bread around, I don't know if I can see that there. Of course, I'm out of frame here, as you can tell. And I'll show you with the other one there, because I think by making it like a mini loaf of bread, there we go. That's a good way to kind of put this. Is instead of round biscuits, they'll be kind of rectangular biscuits. Just so I think it cooks more evenly that way. And we'll go ahead and put those there. I think I could have utilized my space a little bit better. I probably could have put the bacon in there at the same time. Thinking about it in hindsight at this point. But we'll go ahead and insert this here. Let me, it's a better angle here. You're going to go ahead and insert this tube into the, I guess, the cooking chamber. And again, you kind of want to make sure that it's in there. So I'm going to use brute force, as they say, and push it in there. It doesn't really take that much force. I just don't want to push it off the side of the thing. But so we're looking at time. Time's probably going to be roughly 15, 20 minutes. Let's kind of check on it and go from there. And I think 15 minutes is probably long enough for the bread to cook. I mean, when I'm baking it, that's usually how long it takes when I'm in the oven. Sometimes shorter depending on the temperature. Wow. All right. I'm actually impressed. These actually look pretty good. Oh, wow. They're still hot to the touch too, which makes sense. They're in a solar oven. Definitely got some heat coming off them. And so be careful when you're touching this thing. This tube is very hot. I can feel the heat coming from it. And but I would say the biscuits look pretty good. What do you guys think? I don't know. They look good to me. All right, so now on to the bacon. I have 3 pieces of bacon. And now thinking about I only think only 2 pieces are going there unless I cut it up or fold them over. I guess you could probably just throw a bunch of bacon in there, but being this is kind of like my first time using this, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. I got these tongs here thinking that I would use them, but it just feels like it's easier to use my hands. But the tongs will come in handy to take the bacon out because the bacon will be pretty hot. All right, so let me see how I want to maneuver this bacon into this little slot here. And I want to try to put the bacon basically lengthwise, and these bugs out here today are just driving me nuts. Flies, it's typical Florida summer. Flies, gnats, mosquitoes, you name it, no-see-ums, they're out here. Anyways, back to the bacon. As you can see, as I lay this bacon out here, it's only enough for like really 2 pieces. Now, personally, I probably think that you could probably throw them on top of each other. The bacon's going to cook regardless in its own grease once it starts to cook. Maybe I can scrunch it up a little bit more. There's probably a better way. So 2 pieces is what we're going to go with. And we're going to go ahead and insert this and see how long this bacon takes. The bread, I think, is going to be what probably took the longest. I think the bread is probably going to have taken the longest. So let me go ahead and squish this in here, and we'll be back to check on this bacon. All right, so I can see the steam coming out. Yep, bacon's looking good, folks. Bacon's looking good. You can see all that grease in there. That's what I mean, how it shrinks up. I think I probably could have put all 3 pieces in there, to be honest with you. It would have probably worked out, even if it was squished up a little bit. I think the bacon would have did good. So I need to get this bacon out of here and put it on a plate with some paper towels. And we'll pull that out. This wind is crazy out here too. It seems like the elements are against me. But hey, at least it's sunny outside because it took me about a week prior to this to put this together because, I don't know, it was cloudy. There's the bacon there. And I didn't want to use the hybrid version of it. I just wanted to use the sun. All right, so now I wiped this thing out before I poured these eggs in here, but I left some of that bacon grease in there. I figured the eggs wouldn't stick to the inside of the metal tube so much by leaving some of that bacon grease in there. Maybe you could use butter, maybe whatever you want to do, but the eggs kind of just, I think it's a pretty even amount of eggs, and you want to make sure you don't want to make too much of a mess. The wind keeps on pushing this thing forward, and yeah. So be conscientious when you're using your oven. You never know. The wind could push this thing down. You can probably lock it in a better place or position it better. But, you know, for me, this is what I got going on. And I'm also going to angle this up as the sun moves. I want to kind of put this in the position where it's going to be most efficient where the sun's hitting it. All right, so it's been about 2-3 minutes. I want to check on the eggs because I don't want my eggs to burn. So I kind of want to give an idea. They look a little watery still. But, nope, there you go. Yep, no, the eggs they're starting to cook up there. I just want to check on them because I hate burnt eggs, man. I don't know about you. I mean, some people don't mind a little brown on their eggs, but I like my eggs, I guess, I don't know, medium well, if that makes any sense with scrambled eggs. Probably not. Pretty sure someone will give me some grief down in the comments for it. But I wanted to stir it up just to kind of see where I'm at with the eggs because I want to be kind of cautious, like I said. We'll go ahead and put them back in and for a few more minutes, just like another 2 or 3 minutes. And let's check on them and see how they've done. It's been about 3 minutes and 15 seconds according to my timer that I got going on. And yep, eggs are looking good, folks. I think the eggs look excellent. And they're not brown. They look evenly cooked, not too much water. It's nothing. Everything looks good with the eggs. So let's kind of put this thing together and see how our breakfast comes along. I think it's going to look great, personally. But, yeah, so far so good. All right, so let's, there she is, folks. There is my biscuit, eggs, and bacon. What are your guys' thoughts? How does it look? The total time on this thing was probably, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some calculations, and I'll throw it on the screen. But all from the sun. And as you can see, the sun is beaming, and, yeah, even through the clouds, it's very, very hot. But all in all, I think the breakfast looks good. I'm going to go ahead and eat this, and we'll wrap this video up.
All right, folks, so that is the GoSun solar oven. Like I said, I was quite impressed of how fast it cooked the meal, how efficiently it cooked the meal. I was totally impressed that I was able to bake biscuits in there. There were the instant biscuits and whatnot, but still, if you make your own bread, it's the same type of process. That if you wanted to fill that thing up, I guess you could probably make a whole kind of like mini loaf of bread. I don't know, or hot dog buns. I don't know. My mind's just kind of thinking of all the different applications using some sort of mixture to make bread. But he said it could cook the bacon, it cooked the eggs. Everything seemed to work pretty well. Cleanup, that is, it's not hard, but you just kind of want to be careful with it. And again, so let's talk about the pros and cons. Pros, you do not need fuel. And what I mean by fuel is gas, alcohol, wood, anything. You just need to have the sun. And worst case scenario, the sun is not available because it's a cloudy day, or you're trying to do something at the end of the evening, or it's maybe at nighttime. I like the hybrid aspect of it, that you can plug it into a power station or a vehicle, or if you're in an RV and you have that option, there's multiple ways to kind of make this thing work for you, even if there is no sun available. I don't know if this is a con or not. For me, the con is they have a bigger version so you can cook more food. Because I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to kind of cook bacon, bread, and eggs and kind of doing them independently of each other. I'm pretty sure if there was some sort of like dividers that they could make for this, they kind of put one in the middle so you can cook eggs on one side and bacon on the other. That would be kind of a great thing to do for something like this, because the tube itself, when you pour those eggs in there, it kind of, covers that whole gambit of space. So if you could kind of have a divider on there, that would be amazing, GoSun. And the biggest thing that I think is the packaging that this thing comes in. It's like kind of like a this duffel bag kind of thing here. And my biggest thing is that tube in there is made out of glass. I don't know if it's a tempered glass. It probably has layers in there, to do its thing. I'm not a scientist of solar ovens. My main concern is it could break. I've watched some YouTube videos out there where someone dropped it from basically chest high from here and then drop it on the ground, and it did break on them. And then, they were out $300. And that sucks. I think if they could create a better case, I know it might increase the cost of the product itself, but, I think it's worthwhile to protect your investment. I'm thinking a Pelican case or something thereof. I know it makes it a little bit more bulkier and kind of heavier, but you want to protect your gear, and especially something that, that you spend this type of money on. I think there's a way to kind of utilize that. Me personally, I'm probably going to go to Harbor Freight and get one of their Chinesium Pelican type of things. They work pretty good. I've beat the crap out of them in the past, and kind of do that pick and pull kind of situation and put that system in there, so that when I keep it in my Jeep and I'm hitting bumps and going off road or whatever the case may be, it's jogging around, it's not tightened down, it happens to fall off the truck. Those kind of scenarios, I'm not really worried about breaking my product because it's kind of encased into that thing. But it'd be nice, if GoSun wanted to kind of think about that and kind of think of how they could, kind of make it a little bit more encased so that it's protected. So you want to be a little bit careful, if you got animals or kids or anything like that, because the unit will get pretty hot. But also, if you have it somewhere where it's kind of janky, not on the proper table, not leveling, you want to be kind of conscientious of where you're going to put this thing at. That's kind of like, I guess, my pros and cons aspect of the GoSun variation of a solar oven. I love mine. I will be using it a lot. So let's kind of transition into the message to you, my viewers. First, I want to apologize that I've been gone for a couple of weeks. There's a lot of things happening in the background of my life, things that are going to be incorporated into the channel here this summer. Probably was going to be earlier, but ran into some issues, so now it's getting pushed back probably until August. But it's going to be a big turning point, at least from my perspective, for the channel. It should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be taking you guys step by step through something huge. And I think we're going to be able to learn a lot in that process. I'm going to learn a lot. My family's going to learn a lot. And I hope you, the viewers, learn a lot. That being said, folks, I want to say a big shout out to all you amazing people out there that have watched my videos for as long as you have, listening to my ramblings. I kind of go on long sometimes. I kind of get long-winded, as some of the people in the comment section love to let me know. And for you folks out there, my question to you is, what do you think of a solar oven? Do you think it's practical? Do you think it's easier to make your own? I've done it. I've had some issues. A lot of times it doesn't work as well as this kind of unit did. I like the hybrid aspect of this thing. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's worth the money? What do you think of some of my pros and cons? I always love to hear from you folks out there. Now, one question, if you're still watching this video, thank you. Please hit that thumbs up button. It's truly appreciated. And if you're new here, two things: subscribe, that's always a plus. Leave a comment and let me know that you're new to the channel so that I personally can welcome you to the channel. And maybe some of the other folks leaving comments will also say hello. I consider my channel a community-based channel. I'm not here just to shove information down your throat. I like to share the information that I come across and also get feedback from the viewers, because I think as a whole, as a community in regards to preparedness, that is the best option for most folks, not to just hear one person's perspective, but to hear everyone's perspective, be it good or bad. Just be productive, in regards to that. But remember, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys on the rebound. God bless all you amazing people out there. And again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.